Welcome to Soft Review. Meta just rolled out Llama 4, and as you can see, these are the three models that they announced, but only two models are available for us to use, the Llama 4 Scout and Llama 4 Maverick. The only exciting part for me is that now I thought only Google had models which is capable of having like millions of context. Now it changed, and the Scout can go up to 10 million context length, so that's like a huge leap. And the Maverick model has got the same context window, like the 1 million context window, similar to the Google Gemini 2.5 Pro. And this is the Behemoth. This is not yet available, and it's a 2 trillion parameter model. I think there is no other model with this many parameters. And yes, Llama 4 is 14 billion parameter model, and this is not like the other models. This is like a mixture of experts. So there are like 128 experts with 17 billion parameter each, and this has got like 16 experts. So if Maverick has got more number of experts, and it can help you with different varieties of tasks as well. So when you compare it with the other available models, this can be compared to GPT-4o and Gemini 2 Flash. So it's not the top tier model, the like we can expect from Google Gemini 2.5 Pro or Sonnet 3.7. This is just like the middle model, where it can perform similar to like DeepSeek V3 and GPT-4o. But I think DeepSeek, the latest version of DeepSeek, is much better, and it's also open source. Only the issue is like the context window is much lower. For a practical use case, I will definitely consider DeepSeek V3 over Llama because it's much better. The only takeaway from here is it has got more context, and that's the only thing that excites me with this model. I believe this is more like desperation from Mark, and they are losing their edge because all the other top companies are coming up with models, and they are not releasing anything. So yeah, in order to keep their name and the stock price intact, I think this was like a rushed release. So that's why their Llama for Behemoth is not even released. So anyway, they have these models, and when you look at LLM Arena, as you can see, it's the second model. It's outperforming all the other models, which is like hard to believe. Let's definitely test it and see how it looks and how it works. So if you want to download, you can come to this .com website where you can download these models by filling in this information and request access and download if you have the hardware to actually use this. And if you want to try out, as you can see, you can come to this is their website, and you can come here and use this as well. So as you can see, I have already asked it like which model. It only said like Llama 4, and it's not saying that whether it's Maverick or Scout. I believe that it's Scout because it's a cheaper model. If you don't want to go to that website, you can come to Groq, and you can select. This is not the Elon Musk Groq. This is another Groq. This is like an Inference website. You get the fastest inference here, and this is, so just to show you, if you select Llama for Scout, the other Maverick model is also not available here. So if I ask, write me an article about why ERP system is needed for small business, so I'll just click on submit, and it just appears, right? So that's how fast this is. And as you can see, the number of tokens per second, 495 tokens. Normally for some other providers is 15 or 10. So it's look at the speed when you compare it with this. So they also have an API which is free, and there are restrictions and limitations, but just giving you a heads up. But my preferred way of using, if I am planning to use it, is obviously through like OpenRouter, because as you can see, in OpenRouter we have Maverick and Scout absolutely free to use. And even though it mentioned that the Maverick is 1 million and Scout is 10 million context window, we are not getting that here in OpenRouter. And Maverick is only like around 256k context window, and the Scout is 512k context window. So if you are working with large documents And other important thing that stands out for this model, this is multimodal as well. For example, if I go to VS Code or something, and if you are on a tight budget and if you are using client, if you come to the settings here and if you select OpenRouter, then you can select Maverick, right? So just click on done. As you can see, now you have the ability to actually upload images. So that's one key differentiator when you compare it with, let's say, DeepSeek. That's the only edge when for me specifically, when I compare it with DeepSeek, like it can actually use images as reference, or like for bug fixing and everything we can actually input the image here, but the brains is definitely with DeepSeek when you compare this Maverick model. And also the context, so if you have like huge documentation or like video files, you can definitely upload it to Maverick and get the best out of it. So if you are working with huge documentation, then I would recommend you use Llama's Maverick. If not, then DeepSeek or GPT or Google 2.5 is much better, because Google 2.5 also you get 1 million context window. As you can see here, it has got 1 million context window. That's really a good model, and I have already a video where you can get $300 worth of Gemini 2.5 or API premium usage without any rate limits. So if you want, you can test it out and you can use it for 90 days. So that's a really good deal. I have locally installed Bolt. As you can see, it's locally installed, the Bolt DIY. So this is our Bolt. I have already tested with Bolt. So here I have selected like Gemini 2.5 Pro, and here we can select OpenRouter and Maverick and select the free version. There are two versions, one is a paid one, and select which is labeled as free, otherwise you will lose money. It's the 256 context window. Let's first test it with create like an interactive web piano that I can use. I can send it to both and see how both this performs. Let's look at the speed as well. It already coded Llama 1, so I liked Google one better, and yeah, I'm surprised that it got this with the first prompt. Now let's look at start a new chat, and let's select OpenRouter and Maverick. Here also we'll start a new chat. Create a simulation of solar system. Let me just start this first, then this. Here I can see the solar system and it's showing something, and here I'm not seeing anything. So yeah, as you can see, Google wins here. At least we are getting something. There is like a small error that popped here. Let's see if it can fix it. So this here also it's working. As you can see, this is, so it's coming up with something, but the angle is different. That's the only difference. So create a snake game. So it's working. What happened here? So it's not showing any error, and I am unable to get a preview also. Okay, now let's move to, let's do some data visualization. I want you to visualize the data for the world population. So I liked this more. The UI is much better. Yeah, it also came up with a similar graph. Now let's test physics simulation of a ball rotating hexagon. So here the correct winner is definitely Google Gemini. As you can see, it's going out of the hexagon. Create an attractive landing page that sells skin whitening cream. Look at this difference, same prompt, and the output is really much better. Radiance glow, it looks really dull. Yeah, that's it. I just want to show you like the main difference here. I think even though Llama Maverick model is faster, the end result is much better when you compare it with the Gemini 2.5 Pro. I know that this is not the correct model to compare it with, but yeah, I'm still showing what's available, the state of the art model. That's available for us for free by Google. My recommendation would be to stick with Google's 2.5 Pro because it has got the long context window. It's really good at most of the use cases. It follows instructions, and yeah, if you use OpenRouter, we are still getting 1 million context window from Google itself. So even though it has got like a huge context window, in paper we are not actually getting that. So also keep that in mind. Google is also multimodal, so there is no question to use which. So I'll be using Google. Yeah, it's always good to know that Meta is still in the game and they are trying to catch up to Google and OpenAI. I hope this helps. If you liked it, please don't forget to share and subscribe for more future videos.